Welcome back, and in this video you will see my Dread Elves take on Henrik and his Infernal dwarfs. Last time I played Henrik was at the Swedish Masters, where I won really big, and since his list looked pretty much like that one, except for less bull centaurs, some more orcs and a few war machines, I felt very confident since I this time had a very good counter to his Titan in my Prince, which I didn't have last time we met. In this game there was no scenario and it was a regular battle line deploy. With the loss in game 4 I think I lost some focus since my only overall goal now was to avoid dropping too low on the final score. That lost focus might have been one of the reasons as to why I chose to deploy first and put everything on the table when there really wasn't much of a benefit going first in this game. For spells I got Stars Align, Thunderbolt and Call of the Comet, while he had 2 Fireballs, Burning Ramparts and Burning Bolts, I think it was. So from the left we have my Raiders, the Kraken, a Hydra, Tower Guards with the Prince, the other Hydra with the Alta behind, and then Spears with the BSB and Oracle Bunker behind. And from his right we have the 2 Hobgoblin units, the Orcs, his Wizards, and together with the Citadel Guards, with the Immortals in front. On the hill are his gunnery teams, and on his left the Titan and the Incarnates. So for Vanguard I move one raider unit into the middle to threaten his gunnery teams, while the other moves up on the left. In my first turn the left raiders continue around his left, while I put the others straight in front of his artillery. This way I thought to force him to either charge them and land in a bad spot afterwards, or spend his shooting on the raiders instead of more important stuff. I think it had been a good plan if I once again hadn't been wrong about another army's rules. The thing was that I had overestimated his artillery very much, since I thought them to be strength 5 and not 4, as they actually are. So he was probably satisfied with shooting them down, and the monsters I were trying to protect were probably not threatened to begin with. So the rest of my army moves full speed ahead to cover some ground, to not remain in the open with those terrible war machines, as I thought them to be. My prince also jumps over to the spearman to get closer to his monstrous stuff. Magic does nothing, and shooting kills some goblins, I think. He doesn't care about my raiders at all, and instead moves his dwarfs and orcs some inches forward, while his incarnates sneaks up on my left. The Titan seems to hide at the right board edge, and the goblins turn to face the raiders. His magic burns off some tower guards, and his shooting then easily finishes off the raiders. In my turn I popped the triple march banner and moved the spearman up on the hill facing his flank, and also avoiding his charge arcs. The raiders go round his back, while the oracle march out of the bunker to get away from his incarnates. The rest of the army positions for some charges. In his turn he begins by charging his immortals into my tower guards, together with the orcs, while his incarnates fail a charge on my now wizardless bunker, who flees. Other than that he moves up some goblins, the Titan and the Infernal guards move in front of my spearman, while his wizards run and hide. In the magic phase he does 2 wounds to my altar with a fireball, if my memory serves me right. Shooting doesn't do much, as I think he misfired and had some more bad rolls. In combat I kill about 15 of the immortals, as my guards are altar buffed. He in turn killed close to as many as I did, and with the extra combat rest he breaks me and then run the last ones down. I hadn't counted on him winning that combat, so unfortunately one of the hydras are too close and panics. deja vu, anyone? My turn, and the Hydra and Kraken charge the orcs, while the Spearmen charge the Infernal gods. I'm thinking that I really need to get those immortals whittled down, so I gamble with a charge from the altar, hoping to hold them in place until I can bring something else in to finish them off. The Hydra continues to flee, so does the bunker, which lands off the board, but thankfully the Oracle passes the panic. The Raiders move to try to shoot down some wizards. In the magic phase I think I try Fireball first, but nothing happens, so then I try Thunderbolt with 4 dice and get a double 6. Thunderbolt failed miserably to do anything on his wizard, and for the second time this tournament I get the breach in the veil, and this time as well I roll low, so the Oracle gets sucked away. The Raiders also fail to kill any wizards. In combat my altar kills 2 dwarfs with impacts and all, and he then takes all remaining wounds on his backswing, so super fail there. My monsters kill about 10 orcs, but there are more where those come from, so they stick. The spears kill all but 3 infernal gods, who then flee, but I decide to reform to face the immortals and Titan instead. Oh, his turn, and the Titan and immortals charge the spearman. His guards rally, and one of his goblin units runs away, probably to avoid losing their points or something. With magic and shooting he only kills 2 raiders. The remaining ones on the other hand flee, so in combat the monsters have a feast amongst the orcs, who can't wound them back, but they still won't break. I'm liking the spearman fight, and since I reformed the Lord to stand against the Titan, I'm thinking that now it's his time to shine, so I roll for the prince, and on 3+ he only gets 1 hit. It wounds, and after a reroll ward save goes through, causing 2 wounds. I actually think the Titan had failed one of those Kadeen tests, since I know he has taken 3 wounds at this point. I hadn't counted on bringing it down in this round, but to only get 1 wound in was a disappointment. Well, I continued with the BSB and the rest, and they kill a total of 1 immortal. He then kills about 14 of mine back, but thankfully that 1 dead dwarf was enough, making him lose a rank, and I stick on steadfast. So it's my turn 4, and the Hydra leaves the board while the Raiders rally. Other than that, it's only combat. Here my lord gets a last chance to shine, and this time only miss 2 hits. The other 2 wounds. The Titan on the other hand managed to make 1 ward save after the reroll, so he stands there grinning with 1 wound left. The BSB and Spearman make another heroic effort and kill another dwarf. Everyone then gets killed back except for the BSB, who only takes 1 wound. He auto-breaks, and so he gets away. The monsters on the other hand dutifully shoots away at the orcs, who still won't budge. In his turn his goblin charges the raiders to stay. With magic and shooting he tries to kill the BSB but fail. In combat I finally break the orcs, and the raiders actually stick and don't die. So it's my turn 5, and if I manage to destroy his immortals and characters I actually might salvage something this game, so I charge both monsters in, and the BSB rallies. In combat he kills the raiders, and in the other combat I think we started off by him taking some wounds of the Hydra with his overlord, or perhaps the BSB, I don't know. But my Kraken then managed to wound the BSB, but since I only roll a 1 on the D3 wounds, he survives. Doing okay and only taking some wounds back, he after the stomping only has one immortal left together with the characters, which of course is enough to make him stubborn, so he stick. In his turn 5 then he charged the incarnates into the Hydra's flank. His shooting or perhaps magic killed the BSB, and in combat my monsters go down pretty easy. Here the game and the tournament ends, at least for me, with all my units gone. There's no need to play the last turn. The only thing I really killed in this game was the orcs, while the titan, the gods and the immortals keep half their points. But those points I got actually saved me from being super humiliated with a 20-0 loss, and I instead got a small comfort point and only lost 19-1. What is there to say about this game then? First of all, I was really glad that this game came at a time where I actually didn't have much to play for when it came to placings in the tournament and such. Otherwise, this would have been a game that could make one want to quit playing entirely. Thankfully, Henrik is a really nice guy playing against, which made it possible to mostly laugh the bitterness away. I don't necessarily think I played it well with the overestimating of his artillery and my now almost trademarked Hydra fail, but for once I didn't deserve this kind of beat. So, in the end, I dropped down to the lower third of the tournament, which was a huge disappointment, I must say. Even though it feels like the dice were somewhat against me all the way, I only played good in one of the games against the Verminsform, where I still managed to fuck things up very last turn, so there is no dice god to give the blame this time, sadly. Hopefully I can learn something from this failure to come back somewhat stronger the next time. I will definitely take some steps to keep my monsters from panicking in every game, but we'll see how that goes. The next tournament I'm planning on attending is the Swedish Championship in August, I think, so hopefully I'll get my shit together until then. We'll see you soon for some more games of the more casual sort.